USC's got to be the worst team in college basketball, which is crazy. Bronny needs to stay if he's going to have a chance at the NBA. Bronny is playing like a bust. Now, we have a ton of topics to get into today. Bryce James, Bronny, Mac McClung, everybody you could think of, but we got to address this T real quick. Larsa Pippen and Marcus Jordan have broken up after 5 years of dating. I'm going to be honest, this was on my Twitter timeline, so I had to throw it in the video, but this was insane. We all know Scottie Pippen and Michael Jordan are out here celebrating right now because this was crazy. Of course, this is Scottie Pippen's ex-wife, so it was even wild to see these two together for so long. But man, I know them two are lit right now celebrating. Now next we got Lonzo Ball is back on the court. Now, you know, the Ball brothers were really a thing in high school. They were really at the top of their game. Everyone was tapping in to what they were doing. And of course, Lonzo had an injury that people said he may never even step back on the basketball court. And take a look at how he's moving. Now, for a dude for a dude who people said would never come back, I gotta say, he looks pretty, he looks like he's getting back into basketball shape and he's knocking down his shots. Now, of course, that was only just a video, but even this dude said his shooting forms improved every year. Glad he got rid of that form from high school/college and early NBA years. It helped his shooting a lot. Man, low-key, I kind of liked Lonzo Ball's shooting form in the past. Although it was a little unconventional, it really made him a unique player. He basically was kind of chucking the ball up there, but it looked like he was knocking down his shots, and it was still exciting to watch, especially at UCLA. Now, next we got dude was going off before the injury, and people think this injury is just basically a roadblock for his entire career. Man, and I don't know, it's hard to tell right now just off one video if he's really going to be able to come back or not, but this fan does not believe he is coming back at all, basically telling him to stop playing with him. We know he's going to be ruled out next season, and that's probably facts because he definitely has to take his time to be able to come back from an injury that basically they were saying was almost career ending. So for him to get put back right away and start playing for the Bulls is probably very unlikely. Now, I got to talk about this because I did not cover this matchup right here. Mac McClung went against Sharife Cooper, two of the best G League hoopers and probably two of the most exciting high school and even college hoopers, of course, and definitely G League hoopers that we've seen in a very long time. So let's take a look at their highlights. Now, you can't tell me Mac wasn't looking tough, but let's take a look at Sharife. Now, Sharif's layup package is so tough in this video. And man, both of these dudes, a lot of them are, you see it here, both should be in the league. It's crazy that they're not. And I'm going to address this. I've addressed it before in the past where I basically called Mac McClung overrated and people were attacking me in the comment section. But I'm going to tell you like this. You have to do something that really makes you stand out in the G League. Personally, I don't think it's enough just to be able to score points or get your teammates involved. You have to have a wild card to be able to make it into the NBA, because there are plenty of dudes who are doing probably more than you if they got brought down to the G League, and you have to be that much better. So you really can't just dominate G League. You have to be that number one guy to be able to get brought up and really get an opportunity. Both of these dudes, I believe, have had some time trying to play for the regular NBA team. But man, you really have to go above and beyond. You cannot just dominate, man. You have to gun for that top spot. And personally, I think that is the only way to do it. Now, bro said we need expansion teams. These two should be in the league. Back in the 80s, they sure would. And we know the competition level back in the day was not as good, so I can't argue with that. But I would love to see them play in the actual NBA. But man, both of them are not even that tall, probably around 6'1", maybe 6'2". Yes, I know Mac McClung is athletic and can jump out of the gym, and Sharif Cooper can finish down low and get buckets like nobody's business. But low-key, man, they just need something else. They need something else to bring them to the NBA team. Definitely have had some opportunities, but things unfortunately just have not stuck for them. Now, when you take a look at their numbers, this is Mac McClung's numbers right here. I mean, for a dude averaging 25 points, 5 rebounds, 7 assists, he's probably not even averaging the most in the G League, which is kind of insane, showing how much talent is in the G League. And I think that's what's really changed the game. Now, we take a look at Sharif as well, around 19 points, 4 rebounds, 7 assists. And I got to be honest, I think, again, one of the biggest shifts here is just the talent pool. There are so many talented people now in the G League. It's just tough. Almost everyone is playing in the G League. So at this point, man, I think they just need to raise the salaries or do something, because, man, they got so much talent. They might have to even expand the NBA team's roster. Now, we take a look at Sierra Canyon. They took on the number one player in the country. And this was tough, man. Sierra Canyon opened up playoffs by taking the number one player in the country, Brandon McCoy, and St. John Bosco. Sierra Canyon picked up the win 72-67, and here's how they looked. Now, they were looking tough in this. I mean, you see a lot of buckets getting scored. And let's take a look at their opponents' highlights as well. But, man, let's talk about it, right? We're taking a look at these highlights. I didn't see Bryce James make one block, make one shot. I just saw him celebrating there. And a lot of people, again, are pointing towards this fact. Man, Bryce is kind of looking overrated with how he's playing out here. I mean, yeah, this is one game, and his team did win, but they're not even showing any highlights of him, which probably means he didn't have any. You know, every single one of these platforms right here, if Bryce gets one rebound, if he does anything, they're going to put him in the title. And then you see in this game, basically, bro is not getting, man, any type of notoriety at all. Now, bro, I looked at the comments right away, and what do they say? Bryce shouldn't be waving around. Bro didn't score a single point. I mean, is he lying? It's kind of facts. You take a look and see there are no highlights of him at all. No Bryce 4-point highlights and block. Pretty much the same exact thing is being said there. Now, they were also talking about the team that they played, pretty much stating that this is not the number one player in the country. And they call everyone the number one player in the country nowadays, but definitely looked like they were playing some talented opponents. Now, Andres, this dude is an NBA player's son. He was out here and played against Bronny and USC and dropped 20 and 6. Now, of course, unfortunately, I cannot show the highlights, but bro went out there, dropped that 20 points, 8 for 12 field goals, and a 30-point win. They beat USC by 30, and it's kind of concerning, to be honest. Now, look at this. Everybody's been getting career highs on USC. And to be honest, man, it's because their defense just is not that good. I mean, these dudes can score pretty well, but overall, I think their defense definitely needs some work, which, Bronny can play pretty well, but man, everyone has to contribute on the team. Now, USC's got to be the worst team in college basketball, which is crazy. We really came into this season thinking that USC would probably be one of the better teams. I mean, think about it. They have Isaiah Collier, who was a top pick, Bronny James, who definitely has a lot of popularity, can play defense, can get guys involved. I mean, you just got a ton of talent. Boogie Ellis can score the ball. They got some other guys. Dennis Rodman's son is on there. And still, they're losing games out here. And man, people are concerned about Bronny and what is going on. Now, he's only averaging 6 points, 3 rebounds, around 3 assists per game. You see all the numbers here. And a lot of people believe Bronny needs to stay if he's going to have a chance at the NBA. And I'm going to tell you right now, Bronny is playing like a bust. Playing like a bust does not necessarily mean that he is one, and I'm going to explain with this screenshot right here. Now, you're forgetting he just came off of cardiac arrest. Man, you can't forget it. Bronny was definitely out for a while, pretty much came into this season as it had already started and had to figure out and find a way. Now, we all know a lot of people love to make excuses. I think we definitely have given him a lot of time to be able to say that he's probably back, more than likely 100%. And even then, I mean, you see the numbers. I think it's really just going to take Bronny some time to be able to get accustomed to this game. I mean, even in high school, you could call him a late bloomer because he was really only playing exceptionally well when he was a senior. That's really when he started to show out and was really looking like that dude. And I think this is just going to be another case where it's going to take Bronny some time to work on it. Now look at this. Is this proof that resources are overrated when it comes to development? And Bronny and even Bryce had all the resources out there, and these two dudes are still, I mean, they're struggling. Let's just put it in tell facts. They're struggling out here on the court. Now, resources, man, I think it's one thing to have them, but doesn't necessarily mean you're going to have the drive or even the talent to be really like that and be successful, because it's not guaranteed. I got to talk about this 51 points, man. I usually don't talk about the female hoopers, but Juju Watkins dropped 51 points, 14 of 26 from shooting, 6-11 from the three-point line. I got to give credit where it's due. This is insane. And 51 of 67 points, that's what she scored for her squad. Man, she was just basically going out there doing her thing, man. I got to give credit where it's due. 51 is insane. Now, we got to talk about Montverde. They picked up a win last night and which is making them 26-0. That's crazy, man. They're 26-0, and Cooper Flag is out here going crazy. Let's take a look. Now, I can't be the only one who is looking at the team that they're playing right here and pretty much looking at them like these dudes seem like they have a decent amount of height, and they don't look like scrubs. I mean, these dudes look like they're built. Maybe they've been lifting weights. They definitely have height to them, and I would assume that they would be able to compete or at least score a little bit against Montverde, but none of these teams are really able to compete with them. Now, this comment, these kids are 26-0. Man, these kids are so small these days. It's wild. Cooper Flag played in my generation. He would just be honorable mention. No one on that other team is over 6'10". Personally, I didn't think they were that short, But clearly there are some games where they are playing against scrubs and destroying the other teams. The other teams have no opportunity. Now we all know Montverde is stacked with talent, which a lot of these other teams might have specific players who are talented, but overall just do not have the combined roster and type of talent that Montverde has. Now this dude said, I just seen at least 5 guys that can be playing D1 basketball right now. Of course they're 26-0. And I mean, can you argue with him? It's basically like a Kentucky or Duke roster. You have all of the top talent in the country and even probably outside of the country as well. And it's just tough to compete, man. And Cooper Flagg, you know he has been playing exceptionally well. Now, this is a hot take right here. Cooper Flagg could probably average 10 points per game right now in the league. I'm going to be honest. I look at this. I'm going to call cap. I think you got to give him a little bit more time to develop just because he's destroying and really playing exceptionally well against teams right now. You know it does not always translate to the next level. We've seen it time and time again, although I think Cooper's game will translate very well, but it's only a matter of time.